Hello, my name is Miracle Smith, and my research proposal is titled Public Perceptions of Government Misconduct and Trust in Democratic Institutions. My research examines whether Americans' perceptions of corruption and ethical misconduct among federal government officials affects their trust in government and their participation in democratic institutions. My research question is, how does the perception of corruption and ethical misconduct of federal officials affect Americans' trust and participation in democratic institutions? This question is important because political trust is an important part of a healthy democracy. When citizens trust their government, they may be more willing to participate in elections, engage with public institutions, and believe that the government is acting in the public interest. However, when citizens believe that government officials are corrupt or unethical, that trust may decline. The existing literature shows an important connection between corruption, political trust, and democratic participation. Research generally finds that perceptions of corruption can weaken political trust because citizens may believe that government officials are not acting honestly or in the public interest. Research also suggests that transparency, accountability, and ethical behavior can help strengthen public confidence in government. However, the relationship between distrust and political participation is less clear. Some research suggests that distrust causes citizens to withdraw from political life, while other research suggests that distrust can motivate people to pay closer attention to the government and hold officials accountable. This uncertainty creates an important area for further research. Based on this literature, I developed two research hypotheses. Hypothesis 1 states that Americans who perceive higher levels of corruption among federal government officials will report lower levels of trust in the federal government. Hypothesis 2 states that Americans who perceive higher levels of corruption among federal officials will be less likely to participate in democratic institutions. I also have two null hypotheses. Null hypothesis 1 states that there's no significant relationship between perceptions of corruption and trust in the federal government. Null hypothesis 2 states that there's no significant relationship between perceptions of corruption and participation in democratic institutions. To test these hypotheses, I will use data from the 2024 American National Election Studies, or ANES, time series. My primary independent variable is the perceived corruption among government officials. My first dependent variable is the political trust measured by how often respondents believe they can trust the government in Washington to do what is right. My second dependent variable is democratic participation, measured through indicators such as voting and political engagement. I also control for factors such as age, education, income, political party identification, and political ideology. For my analysis, I will first use descriptive statistics to understand overall levels of perceived corruption, political trust, and participation. I will then use correlation analysis to examine the relationship between these variables. Finally, I will use multi-regression analysis to determine whether perceptions of government predict political trust and participation while accounting for other factors. The ANES dataset provides a large national sample of more than 5,000 completed cases. Based on previous research, I expect that higher perceptions of corruption will be associated with lower political trust, supporting hypothesis 1. The relationship between corruption and participation is less certain because previous research provides evidence for both political withdrawal and increased political engagement. If the results show a significant negative relationship, hypothesis 2 would be supported. If there's no significant relationship, I would fail to reject null hypothesis 2. Overall, my research seeks to clarify how perceptions of federal government misconduct influence Americans' confidence in government and their willingness to participate in democratic life. Understanding this relationship is important because political trust and participation are both essential to a functioning democracy. Thank you for listening to my presentation.